No intro, no outro, just straight fire. So it's been a minute. I got hit up like 2 or 3 different times, like, yo, when you gonna post a video? So I'm gonna go ahead and post a video. I think my last video I said I'm gonna be traveling a lot for work, so I probably might be ghost. Finally settled for about 3 weeks, and then I'm going back to travel some more for work. So in the interim, I'm just going to go ahead and show kind of the trades that I've been looking at and taking this last month. So I'm just going to show my favorite trades. You already know I love me some Euro. I love me USD CHF and USD JPY. So those are going to be ones I focus on. All right. So let's go back a month. This is September 15th. And some of my terminology you might not get because I'm so used to seeing the charts that I kind of already know what price is going to do. And I'm just looking for my criteria, right? So the week of September the 14th, and let me put days of the week on here so you can see the days. All right, so this is Monday. All right, going to the market. Another update that I do is I don't trade on Mondays and I try not to trade on Fridays. So there's that. So price Tuesdays took Monday's highs. So ideally I'll be looking for a sell, waiting for a close below the value area low. And I get in on my sell right there. Boom. And then aim for my take profit. All right, coming into the next week, which is the week of September 22nd. Again, price took Monday's highs. Ideally, again, I'm looking for a close below the value area low. Price closed below the value area low right here. This was my entry. The entry would have been the next week. But due to, price being price, excuse me, I would have gotten hidden out. Next week comes along, price takes out Monday's highs. Again, waiting for a close below the value area low. Entering in on the POC. And that's my trade. Monday, October 6th come around. As you can see, price is falling like shit, right? So at some point, I'm waiting for some type of reversal back up. Price is falling. Price is falling. I don't get any clear indicator that price is going to reverse back up because of what? Price is not closed above the value area high, but price closes above the value area high on Friday. What do I not like to do? I don't like to trade on Fridays because if you look, boom, if I would have taken that trade right there, I would have failed miserably. Would have hit me out. So if I don't see no setups on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, I'm not taking it. Monday come around, price takes out the low, and then I have a close above the value area high. Boom. That's what I'm looking for. This is my trade that I'm looking for right here. But as you can see, price literally expanded. So that was that. So in the last month, took like 2 trades on EU. Because this doesn't happen as often, as you can see, I have all the major pairs on my screen because it doesn't happen as often. So last month, well, the month from September to now, RR is like 23%. All right, so let's do it with USD CHF. And again, I do it with all of them because price don't really, this doesn't happen often. So I put all the major pairs on my watch list. All right, price takes out, liquidity sweep to the bottom, liquidity sweep to the bottom. So you know what I'm looking for? I'm looking for a price closing above the value area high. And as you can see, it did right here, but unfortunately, price did not hit me in. And I would have been SOL on that trade. Again, it's okay. No problemo. It is what it is. You win some, you lose some. I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he was just like, why don't you just mark out the box where the POC is? And I'm like, if it don't hit like perfectly on it, I don't too much care for it. It is what it is. All right, I have another opportunity where price closes above the value area high, and again, it just doesn't hit me in, but it's cool. Again, it's cool, and you already know I don't like trading Fridays. All right, Monday back come around, sell side liquidity sweep, another sell side liquidity sweep. So I'm waiting for price to close above the value area high. It did, however, price does not hit me in. Going into the next week, sell side liquidity sweep again, sell side liquidity sweep again, looking for price to close above the value area high, and it didn't. Going into Monday, next following week. All right. Price kind of just doing its thing, consolidating, closes above the high, take out buy side liquidity high. So ideally, I'm waiting for what? I'm waiting for a close below the value area low. Price closes below the value area low, ironically, on Friday. Though I don't like trading on Fridays, again, I would not have taken this trade myself because it just doesn't make sense to me. But if I did, that would have been 8.5%. 8.5%. All right, going into the next week, price takes out sell side liquidity, sell side liquidity, sell side liquidity, sell side liquidity, and then price closes above the value area high. So ideally for next week, what I would like to look for is some type of buying opportunity back up, but we'll see. And this is why it's good to like choose your pairs and know how your pairs operate and know how your pairs work, because you start catching specific characteristics. All right, USD JPY. Sell side liquidity sweep, sell side liquidity sweep. That means I'm waiting for price to close above the value area high. It did, but not hit my POC. So it is what it is. Again, another sell side liquidity sweep, looking for price to close above the value area high. It closed above the value area high on Thursday. Again, Friday is not my ideal trading time because you don't necessarily know what price can do. So that's a no for me. Monday, sell side liquidity sweep, sell side liquidity sweep, sell side liquidity sweep, and another sell side liquidity sweep. Price starts to reverse. As you can see, price was trying to come and tap into this area right here, but it didn't necessarily get to it, which it's fine. It is what it is. All right, Monday come around, buy side liquidity, buy side liquidity, buy side liquidity, buy side liquidity sweep. Price, boom, did not hit the POC, and again, that's on a Friday. All right, have another buy side liquidity sweep. Price does not close below the value area low. Again, price doesn't close above the value area low, and boom, got that flip right here. So in my three pairs that I just marked up, I don't know if you noticed, the ones that lead with the USD, such as USD CHF, USD JPY, and I can guarantee you it'd be the same thing with USD CAD. Fridays is where you catch your reversals. And then the ones that lead with the other pairs, so AU, EU, GU, NU, you catch your reversals within the week. So let's just look at USD CAD just to kind of see if my theory is right. I don't know if my theory is right. I was just talking out the ass. So we did GU, we did UJ, USD CHF. Let's do UCAD. All right, and we did EU. UCAD, sell side liquidity sweep. Sell side liquidity sweep. Price did what? Boom. Broke out the value area high. So that means I'll be looking for a pullback into the POC. Price doesn't pull back to the POC all the way. Had a buy side liquidity sweep, so I'm looking for a close below the value area low. That doesn't happen. Price takes out sell side liquidity. That means I'm looking for a close above the value area high. It happens right here. Boom. Doesn't hit me in. It is what it is. All right. Again, another close above the value area high on Thursday. Because this happened on Thursday, I'm keeping this pending order. All right, making that 10, and the aim is the aim, right? Boom, hits you in, boom, that's a quick 5%. Monday comes around, price takes out sell side liquidity and doesn't close above the value area high, but it taps into this price right here from Thursday's POC. The next Monday come around, price takes out buy side liquidity. So all I'm doing is waiting for price to close below the value area low. Price close below the value area low right here. This will be an ideal entry. All right, NZD USD. And I'm going pretty fast because I have somewhere to be at 9:30. All right, so I did UJ, USD CHF, UCAD. Now I'm doing NZD USD. I did EU. So we're just going to do these last top three. Price took out buy side liquidity. So I'm waiting for price to close below the value area low. It did that, but it didn't hit my POC. Monday, price took out. Tuesday, consolidation. Wednesday, price took out sell side liquidity. I'm waiting for a price close below the value area high. Price didn't do that. It did that on Friday. Next Monday, price took out buy side liquidity, looking for price to close below the value area low. Again, didn't do that. The following next Monday, price took out sell side liquidity, waiting for price to close above the value area high. Didn't do that. Price took out sell side liquidity. Again, looking for price to close above the value area high. It did that, but it didn't tap into the POC. And then price just did what it did. Great British Pound USD. And the reason why trading like this is like so much easier for me is because it's either the setup's there or it's not. I'm pretty sure I can use a different entry model to where I can get in more trades, but I don't necessarily care to get in more trades. Like slow and steady wins a race, right? Is the reason why the tortoise won the race. All right, so price take out buy side liquidity. Buy side liquidity, so that means I'm waiting for price to close below the value area low. It closes below the value area low. Got my entry. Buy side liquidity was taken, so that means I'm waiting for price to close below the value area low. It did on Thursday, so I would have ideally set a pending order, but as you can see, I would have got hit out. Monday, price took out buy side liquidity, so I'm waiting for price to close below the value area low. Price closed below the value area low right here. Boom, bim, bim. That's the trade. Next Monday, price took out sell side liquidity, waiting for price to close above the value area high. Did not happen. Following Monday, which is this Monday, price took out sell side liquidity. And again, waiting for price to close above the value area high. Boom, no trade. And then last but not least, AUD USD, which does really, really well with this. Does really, really well. AUD USD. Price took out buy side liquidity. Price closed below value area low. Got my entry. Price took out buy side liquidity. Following week, buy side liquidity closed below the value area low. I had to wait till the following week for it to hit me in, but it hit me in. I think this is the one I did first, but we can do it again. It is what it is. Price took out buy side liquidity, took out buy side liquidity again. Again, ideally waiting for price to close below the value area low before entry. Entered in and then sold off. Price took out Monday, October the 6th, buy side liquidity. So I'm looking for a close below the value area low. Price closed below the value area low on Friday, but again, I don't like trading Fridays. And then this week, Monday, price took out sell side liquidity. I'm waiting for price to close above the value area high. Price does not close above the value area high until Friday. So again, no intro, no outro, straight fire. At least for the next few weeks, I'll try to make these videos so that you all can like kind of see my thought process and see, you know, what I'm getting to, how I'm getting to these trades. Again, it's not a lot of trades, but it's still there. It's still making me money. You know, and again, I'm pretty sure that I can have a model to where I am taking more trades, whether it be, you know, you know, waiting for changes of character and entering on the changes of character and all that other jazz. But I just choose peace, especially when it comes to this trading shit. And the more simplified it is for me, the better. I showed this to someone. They were like, why don't you just trade all the pairs? And I'm like, why? Why am I trading all the pairs when I can just trade 7 major pairs, make what I make, and then keep it moving? So yeah, simple to better. No intro, no outro, straight fire.